Hi, everybody. It is me, Caldoon. You should subscribe. It's a cool thing to do. Anyway, it's been a while since I made a video because I was going back and forth with a couple topics, and I found out something that was really crazy. I was just looking at cards on Marvel Snap Zone, and well, this week there's been some talk about monetization, card acquisition. I'm going to talk about monetization in a different video. I want to do some more research about it first. I unfortunately can't find this wonderful spreadsheet I had that I made about like 7 months ago that tracked all the cash and gold bundles from the beginning of the game and just how they've decreased. The gold bundles have decreased, and the cash bundles have gone way up. I even forgot what video that was. But one thing that really kicked this off, and I'm really upset I didn't release this video last week, is a post by Dexter on X. And so he goes, I love Marvel Snap, but if there's anything I've learned these past few weeks, it's that monetization needs to be addressed. Once players leave, they feel like they can't come back. I've had so many friends love the game because it's amazing. Then they take a couple months off, heck, even 1 month off, and it feels impossible for them to come back. Pocket feels incredibly free to play to comparison. Now, for Pocket, I just downloaded it today. There's so much just card opening that you have to do before you even get to the part where you can get card or even play, but I'm gonna play for another couple days and I'll let you guys know how I feel about that. All right, number 2, casual mode is needed. This is something that I've been saying for a very long time, and Proving Grounds is the most casual thing you can get right now, but Proving Grounds still sucks. Conquest sucks. So High Voltage was not only loved for its quick matches, but I think the casual aspect of it. It didn't feel bad to lose because there was nothing at stake. If this was fun to just mess around with random stuff and not feel like you gotta sweat. Pocket has no ranked, and tons of people seem to love that aspect of it. It's been a breath of fresh air. Imagine playing for fun and not for rank. One of the things with Marvel Snap is you snap, and so in like a casual mode, there's no point in snapping because there's nothing at risk. So that aspect would kind of be removed unless they figure out something else to do for casual mode, which I think that they can do something similar to, again, like High Voltage, where there might be like milestone type of rewards where the more you snap, you can earn cubes, but there's nothing you would really lose. So if you lose an 8 cube game, then then what's the point? Maybe snapping would just be for fun, right? Snap for fun. Anyway, casual mode, super needed, because Proving Grounds, I don't have to go in there and worry, like play one game, and then if I win and the person doesn't retreat, then it's like, do I stay? It's like, what's the point, right? So casual mode definitely needed. I feel like most people truly enjoy Marvel Snap at its core. It's just the monetization that scares the player base away. I think they should fix card acquisition and then release a new game mode to lure old players back in. If they feel the monetization has been fixed, they'll stick around. Because yeah, this game is S tier. Kinda hoping Pocket has lit a fire under Snap to improve monetization, because I really love the game. I'm loving both games really. Marvel Snap, gameplay S tier, monetization F tier. Pokemon Pocket, gameplay A tier, monetization A tier. So let's go and talk about card acquisition and why this is so hard, and I'll talk about monetization and different things a little bit later on. So why is card acquisition so hard? Well, series drop is one of the reasons why card acquisition is really such a pain in the ass. This is probably the core reason why card acquisition really sucks. So this was the some developer notes from January of 2023 when they were doing the first series drop. So they say, following the latest patch, Marvel Snap has announced the first downgrade of Series 4 and 5 cards, which will happen 2 months after their release. So that being said, this month's release is, you have Malekith, it's November, so that means in January or February, Malekith would go from a 5 to a 4. Okay, that's kind of what this was saying, and that's the way it was originally. It's going to take a little time to make these changes, but our goal is to make the experience of earning Series 4 and 5 feel much better for folks who haven't completed Series 3. With so many new cards dropping to Series 3 and 4, and more dropping every month, Things are about to get spicy. We can't wait to see what wild new decks everyone will build. And you can't see what wild new decks everyone will build when you have so many cards that are just so hard to get. Card acquisition. That's the issue. In one of my last videos, I mentioned that on the web shop, and this was very poorly advertised, that there was this $30 bundle that had this whole discard synergy of Series 3 cards. And the only thing you needed to do was have access to the shop to get it. And you needed to be under collection level, I think it was like 3,000. And so my account that I'm ranked like, no, not rank, collection level like 150, I had access to this. And it was like Hella, Blade, Giganto, Ghost Rider. You have all these wonderful Series 3 discard cards available to you for $30, which may seem like a lot, but you're getting so much for it. And it's a wonderful synergy card pack, and that's kind of what like a game like this needs for new players who really start to like it. But it was just so poorly advertised that no one really knew. So the series drop history. The first series drop happened in January of 2023. Second was in February 2023, March of 2023, then April, then May. So it was going on every month, and then June 2023 hits, and then it goes away for 6 months. Now, this series drop on a monthly basis felt good, but in the terms of when it comes to like monetization and keeping the game afloat, I don't think this was the best way to do it. It seemed like something that should be done every 2 months or quarterly instead. Just because when you're doing it every single month, it might be like the players that, you know, it's like, okay, do I want this card now? Well, you know, I'll just like wait a month or 2 months to actually get it. So it could hurt like the monetization of it, but then they overcorrected for it, going to every 6 months. So January of 2024, June of 2024, and now I think the next one is going to be December or January of 2025. So they're still sticking to the 6 months, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And the reason it's ridiculous is this: how many Series 4 and 5 cards are there? Series 4 cards, there are currently, as of this date, Malekith isn't included with this, 27 Series 4 cards. 27 compared to 70 Series 5 cards. That's 3 times the amount, almost, of Series 5 cards. If you wanted to spend tokens to get every Series 4 card, you would spend 81,000 tokens for Series 4. For Series 5, 420,000 tokens to get every Series 5 card. That's insane. So currently, how do you get Series 4 and Series 5 cards? It's 2 ways. It's either with collector tokens or Spotlight keys. And when Spotlight keys, when they first came out, they needed a little bit of adjusting. And originally it was a Spotlight cash, not a Spotlight key. So it wasn't that bad. But just as time went on, it was more of a pain in the ass, because the more of a collection that you actually have and the more Series 4 or 5 cards you have, the kind of the bigger pain in the ass Spotlight keys actually are. There are people who have so many Spotlight keys, it's ridiculous. Originally, you were able to get Series 4 and 5 cards just on the collection track. The first week Shuri was released, I got her in a freaking collector's reserve. I mean, right? Yeah, reserve. Yeah, on the collection track. That's insane. And she was a Series 5 card. She was bonkers. She was 4/2, and the next card you play anywhere, well, you would double their power. So you can play her on your left location on turn 5, and then you can play like Galactus on another level or another turn or whatever else, right? Another lane. Absolutely insane. But they took that out completely after they revamped and they added Spotlight caches. So what are the issues that we have with tokens? They've been drastically reduced with how many tokens you can get. The March 2023 notes say that the collector's caches and collector's reserves will be replacing the 100 collector's tokens with 200 to 600 collector's tokens instead in the next patch, which is going to be March 21st, whatever. That's not important because it's already in the past. If you have completed Series 3, you will receive 100 collector's tokens in its place. And the new proposed system was, and this is over 40 caches, I think it was. So in the terms of 40 caches, you would get 9 times would be 100 collector's tokens. 10 times would be 200 to 600. So sometimes you would get 200, sometimes you would get 600, 400, 500, 300. And then on average, you would get a Series 4 card, right? So all in all, not that bad. It was much better. And then Spotlight caches were introduced, and the Spotlight caches reduced this to only 100 collector's tokens you would be able to get. And that's sad. That's really sad. And so for 40, you were supposed to get 9 to whatever this would be. This average like 300, so say like 3,000. You'd probably have 4,000 collector's tokens over the course of 40 collector's reserves. So let's have a fun time. And maybe my wife won't get mad at me for this. So let's just go and open 40. All right. So first one, it's 100 collector's tokens. Second one. So let's just stop at 10 because this is going to take a while. If you go and you stop at 10, then I got 200 collector's tokens. And so let's just assume that would stay with 40, and that over 40, I would then get a total of 800 collector's tokens. Over 40 collector's reserves. That's like 3 Spotlight keys, I think. That's horrible. Because in a Spotlight key, if you get a duplicate, you're just going to get like 1,000 tokens for a duplicate. It truly makes getting Series 4 and 5 cards that much harder. And it's very hard for brand new players to really do that and catch up, especially when you have all these like brand new cool cards coming out. So how is this going to get resolved? I would say a compromised type of older system where they would increase the tokens and reserves. They should, in my opinion, not do 100. They should do either 200 or 300, maybe lock in one of those amounts. Don't have it be random where it's like sometimes it's 200, sometimes it's 600. So it'll average out to 300. Just do a solid like 300 tokens all the time, right? And then you can keep the same frequency so that in the 10 collector's reserves that I opened, instead of 200, I would get 600. And that would make card acquisition so much better. Plus, with all the additional ultimate variants out there, that might be like really cool for people to do, right? Because I don't think Marvel Snap really fully understands that the only point of monetization in this game is to just get variants. Like people spend a lot of money on variants, they look cool, they're really nice, so they should focus on that instead of card acquisition, because the more cards people have, the more variants they'll have access to, which will help boost their revenue, my opinion. Also, add Series 4 cards back to reserves. Keep Series 5s out of the collector's reserves. Okay, I kind of understand that. But Series 4 cards, put those back into a reserve, right? Agony just came out. Nobody wants to spend the money on Agony. If you didn't get it, put it in the collector's reserve. That's it. Quarterly series drops. Every month having a series drop was definitely too quick. I felt made it maybe like a little bit harder to do, even though things were like on a 2-month delayed schedule. It might have been just too much when it comes to just like monetization and people just spending more money in the game. But every 6 months is just way too far. So if they do things quarterly, every 3 drops, ideally, I think every 3 months, every 2 months, I think would be better. But if they change this to a quarterly series drop so that we know every 3 months we're going to get a series drop, that's going to make card acquisition so much better. And with the crazy difference between Series 5 cards and Series 4 cards right now, how there's 3 times as many Series 5 cards than there are 4 cards, they need to do a huge series drop from 5 to 4. They should add tokens to Season Pass and to Season Cash. There's currently none, and I don't know why. You can get gold, you can get credits. They should, now from the best that I'm remembering, I don't think you can get tokens from a Season Cash. I have to double check. All right, according to this, Season Cash, you can't get variants. and these numbers seem pretty good. Now, this is from March of 2024, and looking at these, this is something that I fully believe is true. All right, so you currently can't get tokens in the season pass or the season cash. Add those to them. That's where it's fine to have like the 100 in the season caches. In the season pass, throw like a 500 token something out there, right? For the season pass holders, just give them more ways to get it. Spotlight keys to me should not be every 120 levels. You should get them every 60 to every 90 levels. All the brand new cards that are coming out, they're only series 5. The only series 4 cards that ever come out, it looks like are going to be like more like Agony, where it's going to be in a very easy mode where it's not that much and it's just adding more cards that are okay. And Agony is just, it's okay card, right? So Spotlight keys every 60 to 90 levels would 100% help out with card acquisition. It's just testing like, is 62 quick? Is 90 the better way to go? But 120 levels is way too much. Way too much. It also, when Spotlight keys are in bundles, it just takes away so much value if it's like the 120 levels. Credits are always going to be better than Spotlight keys, without a doubt. And then talking about Spotlight caches one more time, the duplicate tokens in a Spotlight cache should be 3,000. You are going 120 levels. So going back to what we just opened up, I opened up 10 and I got 200 tokens. So if I opened up 120, then I should be getting 2,400 collector's tokens. And you're telling me that a duplicate card, first of all, it is so annoying that when you open up the Spotlight cache, like the first 4 ones, right, that you get, let's go and look at this. There's the brand new card, then there's 2 other series 4 or 5 cards that you can get here, and then there's the mystery series 4 or 5 card. And when you have an almost full collection, you know, like I do, then you're like never gonna get a duplicate series, or you're never going to get a brand new series 4 or 5 card. It's always going to be a duplicate. And 120 collection levels to just get 1,000 collector's tokens, that sucks. Horrible feeling. Very last thing is, this is still not a variant. This should totally be a variant. This video went on too long, as they all do. I don't want to keep you guys for it. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope everything is going great for you guys. And I hope that the time that we spend together, that you spend watching me, you're able to learn something. And I hope you guys can comment. One thing I really love about the people who watch my videos is there's a very good amount of people who leave good criticism about it. Sometimes there's, you know, mean comments, but that's just part of it. And I try to be nice to the mean comments because it's the internet and it's fun, right? But I really do like when people tell me that I'm, you know, if I'm wrong, what their argument is, because it helps me grow as a person to learn other people's opinions on things. So let me know if I'm wrong about things. Let me know if I'm right about things. Just, you know, if you can, subscribe, like, share, do whatever you guys need to do. I'll be back later talking about monetization and just how stupid it is. Marvel Snap's awesome. Have a great day, guys.